that game. I remember that. There's no question about it.
Buck Nasty, I should have added you to the list of haters.
That's exactly right. Anyway, Bart Scott's here now to tell us what he can't wait to see this weekend in the NFL. Bart, let's start tonight with Browns and Broncos.
Absolutely. I can't wait to see if Case Keenum can make it interesting. You talk about in his best day, 2017, was able to throw for almost 4,000 yards. One thing we know about Case, he is efficient and smart. And if he's able to win some games, Baker betting on himself is going to be bad for business. No more commercials for you. I tell you what, I can't wait to see what happens tonight, man. It's going to be exciting.
The battle for first place in that division is somehow Bengals, Ravens, and Baltimore. What can't you wait to see in that?
Man, I can't wait to see if Anthony Averett, man, is going to be on the wanted list. Guys playing rock, paper, scissors, trying to get over there to get their Pro Bowl numbers up. You talk about these receivers in Cincinnati, man. You talk about how great that Joe Burrow is. I think Joe Burrow is the next big star. Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, man, I'm concerned for my Ravens. I hope they get it done, man. But please lean the safety over to Anthony Averett.
Big one in Baltimore. Big one in Nashville where the Chiefs play the Titans.
Do not get on the train when the train tracks or the tracks when the train tracks is coming through. I don't even know what I said.
Nobody
man,
does.
King, that's the beauty of it. King Henry is on pace for over 2,000 yards, a real threat for Eric Dickerson's record. You talk about can Kansas City stand up? They're giving up 130 yards. I think King Henry go for 200. Yeah, I said it, 2 tears in the bucket, man. King Henry is something special. And listen, they don't got nobody brave enough to stick their chest plate out there when King Henry coming through. They don't got no tough guys on Kansas City.
Only 5 teams have given up more rushing yards than the Chiefs this year. Only 6 teams have rushed for more yards than Derrick Henry has so far this year. Leads the league in rushing by 260. Of course, the Chiefs have their own superstars on offense. None less super than Patrick Mahomes. Might be the best quarterback we've ever seen. He also threw this interception late in the second quarter of Kansas City's win over Washington last weekend. Here's what he had to say about that ridiculous play.
I watched it. Everybody started laughing. I mean, that's pretty much all you could, including myself. There's no excuse you're going to make. There's no rhyme or reason of why it happened. You just kind of have to just move on to the next play. And I think that's what I did on the football field as well, is just you can't go back and dwell on it. I mean, it happened. It'll be shown for a long time, but you kind of have to just kind of move on to the next play, and at least I'll be able to say we won the football game after that.
We are not used to seeing this from Patrick Mahomes. Last year he had 6 interceptions and over 580 pass attempts. This year, through 6 games, he's already at 8, which is tied with rookie Trevor Lawrence for second most. The only one with more is another rookie. That is Zach Wilson of the Jets. So, guys, Mahomes can laugh about the interception because they won, but they played Washington, and putting it nicely, I don't think that's exactly the kind of team Kansas City is thinking about having to beat to get to the Super Bowl. So how concerned, Damian Woody, let's start with you. How concerned should we be about Mahomes' turnovers?
Well, listen, you'll never catch me talking bad about Patrick Mahomes, but I will say this, man. It's one thing you play Washington football team. Nobody gives a damn about the Washington football team. But when you start playing some of these good teams out here that don't turn the ball over, that are smart, that are playing smart football, it doesn't matter how much you score. Those are the teams that'll come back and bite you in the butt, because those turnovers, man, good teams capitalize on those type of situations. And we know the Kansas City Chiefs can score with anyone. But in this league, some things are tried and true. You turn the ball over, you're going to lose. It's going to come back on you. That's the problem I have with the Chiefs right now.
The problem is when you think about the Kansas City Chiefs defense, anytime you're giving the other team, opposing team, more possessions, now you're putting that trash defense out on the field, and then now that's only makes Mahomes press even more. When you think about Mahomes and just this season, I just think it's a lack of trust. Lack of trust in the running game, lack of trust in the offensive line, and he's pressing because he knows how bad, historically bad that defense is. Now, we've seen this defense be bad in the past, but this is a whole new level for them. They don't do anything well. They don't stop the pass well. well. They don't stop the run well. And it's like dealer's choice. It's Burger King. You can have it your way if you're the offense. And I think that's going to be a problem. I think Mahomes, and you always have to be careful to say the best quarterback to ever play the game. I think that he's been on a great team and a great system, but maybe the league is catching up with him. And it's not because he's not as great as we think he is. It's just because the pieces around him aren't as great. You talk about losing Swartz, losing Fisher. Those are big losses.
All right. Darlington, you got something to say about the Chiefs?
I'm coming at you right now because I'm 1,000 miles away, okay? Let's be very clear. If I was sitting next to you, I wouldn't do this. But we should not be worried about Patrick Mahomes in the slightest. You look at the screen there right now. The Chiefs are 3-3. Patrick Mahomes has 8 interceptions. We're going to buy into this narrative because it feels like something to do. But let me sort this out for you. First of all, there is only one team in NFL recorded history that has finished a season with more points per drive than the Chiefs have at this very moment. This offense is actually playing at historically good levels, despite the fact that they have a terrible defense and they've got those interceptions. They're second in the NFL in yards per game. They've only punted 10 times. Okay, no team has punted fewer than that. And by the way, by comparison, the Tampa Bay Bucks have punted 20 times. This offense is moving the ball. They're getting the job done. As soon as he cuts down the interceptions, we will be right back to rightfully praising Patrick Mahomes as the greatest quarterback on planet Earth.
I know. I like to hear that you said we. Like you don't squat up for it, man. You're not on the roster, man. You're not getting paid, man. But the thing is, that's the problem, right? Because defenses are.
We got Sixers and Pelicans. Sixers are playing without Ben Simmons, as you may have heard. He's suspended, but they did have Joel Embiid. First quarter, Joel Embiid steps into the three-pointer on the wing and knocks it down. Doris Burke.
This guy relishes the idea that at 7 foot, 280 pounds, score from absolutely anywhere. Can you imagine having that kind of nimble feet at that size? Little up fake, lift that defender, go off the dribble drive. So pretty, Dan.
I absolutely cannot. Late in the third quarter, 76ers up 4. Tobias Harris finds Seth Curry, who knocks down the 3. 76ers up 7.
4 different 20-point scores that came from a lot of different directions. Tobias Harris's performance going to be absolutely crucial.
See Harris scoring there on the fast break. Sixers end the third quarter on a 7-0 run. Embiid sits the whole fourth quarter. You got Furkan Korkmaz hitting the 3. Sixers win by 20 points. Embiid with 22 and 6 rebounds. Here is Joel Embiid on the team's first game without Simmons.
It was good to kind of get off to a good start, get a win and kind of forget about, the off-the-court stuff. Like I said, it's not our job. Our job is to win games.
I think for them, they've been normal. The only abnormal part is when they have to talk to the media afterwards and they're asked questions. But they've been great. I'm telling you, you can't see it, obviously, because you're not in the practices. But for them, it's about playing basketball and growing together, and they've done a great job of that.
Look, I'm sure everybody in that room would love to go see the practice if Doc would let them, so right. That's a different story. But how are they weathering this whole Simmons thing?
I think you have Joel Embiid, who's absolutely relishing the idea that he has an opportunity after finishing second in the MVP voting, that he can take on the leadership. Doc Rivers likes to call him a load to guard. Well, when you, at 7 feet, 280 pounds, can be a 3-level scorer, you can give your teammates a lot of confidence by getting off to strong starts. And I think he's relishing the idea of sort of using this adversity as a rallying cry and trying to stay at the top of those Eastern Conference standings, because now you better position yourself not only for the postseason, but maybe for an MVP award. And how nasty is it in Philadelphia? 1,223 miles separate New Orleans from Philadelphia. And at the Flyers game, folks, there were anti-Ben Simmons chants. It's personal in Philly.
So that's my next question. Like, what do they do? Can they their next game's at home? Can they possibly play him?
I don't think they can play him, and I think more importantly, there is no way Ben Simmons is going to step between the lines of that. What's going to be fascinating is Doc had said before they left on the trip, Dan, that they were going to practice him today. We'll see what news comes out of Philadelphia. Does he participate or not?
Yeah, this is a story that is obviously not going away for a while. The Sixers do you think eventually they'll end up trading him?
Well, I think they're going to move him for sure. The question is,